steps from the Capitol in Cheyenne with reporters in your hometown. These are the top stories from the Cowboy State Daily News Center.
It's time to take a look at what's happening around Wyoming for Thursday, December 18th. I'm Mac Watson. At least part of the December 1st complaint in which Platte County residents asked Governor Mark Gordon to remove their commissioners from office is false, documents show. Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports that public officials are saying other parts are still hotly disputed.
We debunked the part that was claiming that two of them didn't file their campaign finance reports. We actually obtained their campaign finance reports with file stamps on them. There was a claim in there that Commissioner Steve Shockley was only nominally a fireman, and two high-ranking fire officials were like, no, he's responding to fires all the time. And then there was one that developed into a gray area where they were saying these two commissioners, so 2 out of the 3, met with this energy developer supposedly for a safety talk on how to deal with runaway fires and battery systems. And 2 makes a quorum, so under state law, there's public meeting laws apply. So while some of the complaints we can soundly debunk, multiple people are saying, yeah, that's not true.
The Platte County complaint marks the 4th concentrated attempt to remove county officials from office via a governor's investigation in the past year. Rock Springs police and family of a missing Rock Springs woman are requesting the public's help in locating her. Cowboy State Daily's Jen Coker reports that 20-year-old Sierra Gentry, whose family says struggles with mental health, was last seen on Tuesday getting into a pickup truck with an unknown man.
She went over to the Greyhound bus and a woman purchased a ticket for her. She has no money. She has no cell phone. Her aunt, Jessica Richter, who I spoke to, does not know what Sierra told the woman, but whatever she did, encouraged her to buy her a bus ticket to Salt Lake City. But she did not get on that bus. Instead, she left with the gentleman in his pickup truck.
The pickup has been described as a late 1990s, early 2000s primer gray GMC or Chevy pickup truck. Anyone with information is asked to call the Rock Springs Police Department. Wildlife photographers say the reign of Hoback, the most famous moose in the Grand Tetons, could be coming to an end. Cowboy State Daily's Mark Hines reports that the moose is estimated to be around 18 years old and has already shed one of his antlers.
People that saw it happen say it happened on the 10th of December, which is somewhat early for a moose to shed their antlers. Usually they don't start until like late December, January. It probably could be because he's getting old and his testosterone levels are dropping, and so that might prompt him to shed his antlers earlier, which kind of segues into this whole, larger topic of Hobacks getting old. I mean, it happens with these iconic animals that we, maybe kind of place on a pedestal in Wyoming, as we did with Grizzly 399.
It's been a tough year for Grand Tetons moose. Several of them have been struck by vehicles, including a famed bull called Elk Antler, who was killed in October. Cody Roberts, the Daniel, Wyoming man accused of torturing a wolf before killing it, is asking a judge to drop a felony animal cruelty charge. Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports why Daniel's attorney asked for the charge to be dropped.
Robert Piper at first asked, I want to know exactly what is the specifics of what this man is being accused of doing. Piper filed this motion to dismiss, basically accusing the state of stretching the law and using part of the law to negate the very exception that applies to it. And he wrote that a defendant's alleged conduct is unpopular or draws scorn does not deprive him of the fundamental right to be placed on notice of the accusations against him. He's claiming that the state has stretched a statute to charge a man who's accused of doing a very unpopular thing.
Roberts was charged in August by a grand jury with felony animal cruelty. The charge is punishable by up to 2 years in prison and up to $5,000 in fines. I'll be back with more news from Cowboy State Daily right after this.
Have you met your health insurance deductible for the year? Give yourself the gift of peace of mind by getting your health screenings in before 2025 comes to a close. You have a choice for your imaging, and with efficient pre-authorization assistance, extended MRI hours, convenient scheduling, and patient-focused care, Casper Medical Imaging and outpatient radiology is the clear choice. Schedule your X-ray, CT, MRI, ultrasound, DEXA, or mammogram today at caspermedicalimaging.net.
Cowboy State Daily News continues now. Auto dealers in the Rocky Mountain region say they weren't surprised with Ford's announcement that the company was discontinuing its all-electric F-150 Lightning pickup. Cowboy State Daily's David Madison reports that dealers saw this coming.
This does not signal Ford getting out of the EV truck business. I spoke to one expert in Wyoming who said, look, come 2028, they actually have a ground-up EV on the way, whereas the Ford F-150 was an existing gas-powered vehicle that they tried to turn into an EV. This new midsize pickup due in 2028 is supposedly built as an EV.
One car dealer tells Cowboy State Daily another reason sales of the Ford Lightning have dropped off is because of the $7,500 incentive check a customer could get. That program ended this past September. Decades after arsenic contamination shut down the Nedlog and Williams Strategic Metals plant south of Laramie, the EPA is moving ahead with a plan to finally finish removing arsenic and mercury from the site. Cowboy State Daily's Renee Jean reports why the cleanup has taken so long.
This was a Department of Defense project. They built this plant in the 1940 timeframe. They finished it in 44/45, right when the war was ending. And the reason they built it was they needed a domestic supply of aluminum for the war effort. They did that for a while, and they sold out to this Williams Strategic Metals, and that is the plant that ultimately got shut down. The potentially responsible party is a little difficult to tease out because you don't really know exactly when did that arsenic contamination start.
In 1988, Wyoming Department of Environmental Quality revoked the plant's operating permit, shutting it down. Thus began a decades-long marathon of cleanup efforts at the site. Sweetwater County School District No. 1 leadership is under fire after parents and community members on social media accused a Rock Springs High School administrator of wearing an orange wristband that includes acronyms that stand for vulgar phrases. Cowboy State Daily's Kate Meadows reports that the district is now reviewing the complaint but won't discuss specific personnel.
The school board received a written public complaint from Carrie Cochran, who is a parent in the district. And the complaint reads in part, what is happening in these posts should alarm every parent, educator, and community member. The fact that a bracelet with phrases like follow policy plus FAFO plus GFY is not only circulating but reportedly worn by a school leader is deeply disturbing.
School board member Josh Sorensen acknowledged the existence of the wristband at last week's school board meeting, but did not accuse anyone specifically of wearing it. The comet known as 3I Atlas is a 33 billion-ton object that's older than our own solar system and will make its closest approach to Earth on Friday. Cowboy State Daily's Andrew Rossi reports that scientists are captivated by its unusual anti-tail.
The explanation I was given was that there might be a hole in the shell of this comet, and as the volatile elements in that hole are energized by the sun's energy, they're so energized that they're shooting straight out rather than drifting to the back. So that's what's called an anti-tail as opposed to the traditional comet tail. The other interesting thing about this comet is that it's the third interstellar object that's been found in the last decade.
Even though it poses no threat to Earth, NASA is keeping a close eye on the object, which scientists believe is over 7 billion years old, which is 3 billion years older than anything in our solar system. And that's today's news. Get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting that daily newsletter button at cowboystatedaily.com. And you can listen to this newscast every day by clicking subscribe on our YouTube channel or listen to us on your favorite podcast app. Thanks for listening. I'm Mac Watson for Cowboy State Daily.